is this the best survival tin commercially available that doesn't cost the earth? So here we have a relatively new invention. It is the mini mess tin, and these are an absolutely top piece of gear. They clip over like this and keep all of your stuff inside, and as you can see, there's plenty of room in there for a Swedish fire steel. This is Light My Fire, which burns with a hotter spark. And this is a Swiss Army Farmer. Plenty of room to put them in, and you could put lots of food in there if that's all you wanted to take in your survival tin. Now I have modified this by having a screw-on handle for the top.
Water boils quicker using a lid.
And putting a handle on the tin itself, and as you can see, you'd be able to make yourself a brew in this and keep your morale up really well in the wilderness, especially if you have some sort of wood burning stove like this one. Now I'm showing you this because I put one of these tins with one of those fold-up stoves in this pocket, and believe it or not, this stove folds down into this little pocket like that. And then you've got a cooking system all set up, which will go on your belt, or you can hang it from a strap. The way I hang it from a strap is by using one of these, which actually does as a belt. If you ever lose your belt and need one in the wilderness, this will go around your waist twice, and you can strap it onto the belt around your waist as well as wearing it over your shoulder. The actual size of the mini mess tin is bigger than an ordinary sized tobacco tin that is normally used for combat and survival tins in the wilderness. That has an advantage and a drawback. The drawback is that it doesn't go in your pocket as easily, and that limits the amount of times you're definitely going to have it with you if you're not careful. But the advantage is that you get more gear into it, and that it's better for cooking, much better for cooking. It's going to last a lot longer than this, and you can put a handle on it much more easily. So this comes highly recommended. This is totally top drawer. Now remember this mess tin, mini mess tin, that I put one of these handles on. It looked more like this originally. Took quite a lot of work to bend it. Now I got that off one of these larger triangular mess tins. Incidentally, this is the tin that Bear Grylls eventually chose when he made a commitment to making a survival tin to take out with him. And a surprise addition in this tin was some of this type of fish tank tubing, which he would get at water with, which is quite a clever idea, and I've seen it influencing people in other survival tins. I think it was him who thought this up. These two pieces of larger tubing are inside the shoulders of the British Army uniform, And I know that because I deconstructed one in order to take the Kevlar out of it to use for protection. And I just wondered if these are hidden in there to make some sort of survival charcoal straw to use in survival. I don't know if that's true or not, or if it's just a coincidence that they could use it for that. Now, you can make handles that will actually go inside the tin. Here is an example where you just bend a piece of wire, and as you can see, that will do very nicely to hold the tin. Or this one, which is based on the triangular one, where you slip it in, and both of those will go inside the actual tin itself. And you need some sort of tape. I would use Gorilla Tape in real life to tape over this hole when you're screwing off this to put inside. You need something over the hole to stop anything getting in there, especially if you have food inside it. Another option with these tins is you can put the old survival tin that the army uses inside it and put some other gear inside, and that is very handy if you want that option. Now, the whole point of carrying one of these tins is that it should be on your person. That's what I believe, not in your rucksack, in case you get separated from your rucksack. And here, as you see, it fits quite nicely into a pocket on a crag hopper's waistcoat. But when I modified it with this handle on the top, this should be screwed off and put inside and then screwed on later when you open the tin. Now, this is what it looks like when you use something to clip and secure the handle of the triangular mess tin onto this, but that's not attached here, whereas with this one it is attached, and this is less secure. This band is keeping this from spilling its contents, and so really this is not the best way to carry one of these at all. The capacity of your ordinary survival tin, combat survival tin, tobacco tin, is inside it has 200 milliliters of water. It will hold that to make a brew, to make a cup of tea. Incidentally, this is one I made years ago where I attached a mirror onto the front with glue, and one of those plastic mirrors, and around here is fluorescent paint that glows in the dark, but it's very old. And that's an idea that you could do on any survival tin if you get a really good fluorescent paint.
Green luminous paint glows by far the brightest.
The capacity for one of these, they're 250 mils. So you get a quarter again of the capacity. There's 1/4 extra. So a brew in one of these would look like this. This is 250 mils, whereas an ordinary tobacco tin only has 200 mils in it.
Okay, finally, let's give this a test for cooking. Here's a fried egg with a bit of oil. I know they're really great for boiling up water to have a brew, but I mean, I know how good these are at frying. I've used them before, but I want you to see yourself.
As you can see, they've got their limitations for cooking. Not exactly non-stick. I was having to scrape away at that. But for boiling water, they're really great for having a brew. My final verdict and evaluation of this is that this tin is really remarkable value at, I've even seen it for £6 without some fancy logo on it, which is tremendous value and could be a lifesaver. However, I would like to see one day someone manufacture something almost identical that is made of titanium, that is non-stick and has its own innate handle, because when all is said and done, this survival tin is your insurance policy and last survival aid to save your life, and it really needs to be the best. 180!